Reminder that your mute will be on throughout the presentation. If you have any questions that you want to ask, there's a Q&A button on the bottom toolbar that you can ask those to us. We will have a Q&A session at the end. And then we also thought we would kind of get some feedback from you guys and share with the rest of the attendees is if you have a successful example of a ETS marketing campaign that you've run in the past, please submit them to us in the Q&A section, and we will submit those and send them out to everybody at the end of this. Can you go to the next slide, Allie? So this one is on the Steffes ETS marketing and sales resources that we have. It will be presented by Al Tackley, our product manager for ETS, Ali Kovash, our marketing and communications specialist, and then me, Kaylee Lapp, our marketing manager. Next slide. So what we will go through today is tools for selling ETS, our marketing resources and downloads, and then some examples of advertising that we've run. So at this point, I'm going to hand it over to Al, and he is going to kick off the sales training part of it.
Very good. Welcome, everybody. Like Kaylee said, I'm Al Tackley. I've been with the company since 1990, so I've been around the block a little bit and understand some of the things that have worked really good for us. And I'm going to share some of that today. Certainly, we're not going to go into a full-blown sales webinar, but if you have specific questions, feel free to write them in the comments, or give us a call and we'd be happy to talk with you. So why ETS? Why do people want to use ETS in general and Steffes ETS in particular? Well, it's good for the power company. And that we've always viewed our number one customer as being the power companies because we're there to help them with their particular programs. And typically those programs revolve around improving the load profile, so making, stealing from the peaks and putting that load into the valleys, but also overall increasing energy sales. And we've always viewed ourselves as being a good load growth company for the utilities so that they can sell more kWh, but do it in a profitable way that's good for their consumers. So that's their second thing, why ETS, is it is good for the consumer because we're able to utilize those off-peak heating costs. It can provide great comfort. And it's good for the environment. So it fits in with utilities' energy efficiency program. It's storage of renewables. Certainly there's a huge push we're seeing both in the US and Canada right now for electrification, which revolves around using non-carbon emitting resources for heating and transportation, all kinds of things. But the fact that we are energy storage, that we can follow the generation and utilize those renewables, it really is a win-win-win kind of situation. Next slide, please, Allie. All right, so a successful ETS program has lots of things. The first one I want to talk about is it typically has goals, and utilities will set goals, either how much kWh they want to increase or how much kW of ETS they want to sell. Those are things that can really help a utility put their program together. So I think that's a good place to start. So what else does it have? Well, obviously we need to have off-peak rates. We need to have rates that are cheaper during some times of the day than they are during other times of the day to make the extra expense of the energy storage have a payback. And those off-peak rates have to be competitive, and that the competition may be against standard electric rates, or it might be against fossil fuels, and Because if they're not, if you don't have an incentive to use the ETS, it really becomes a hard sell. So those need to be competitive. And over the last couple of years, we've really been um, uh, struggling with the fact that fossil fuel prices have been so low, specifically propane in the upper Midwest of the U.S. Um, and so what utilities have been doing in those places to maintain sales is to offer rebates. And so that can also help to incentivize the customer to want to go with an ETS kind of program. So off-peak rates are obviously one of the things. Power company support. So we've run into situations over the years where there's been great rates, but the programs just don't get any traction because the utility doesn't support them. And the support from the utility can take lots of different forms, and from what we consider the best situation is when the power company takes the most ownership of all the processes, but that's typically not realistic that they're going to do that. So at a minimum, there has to be support that if one of their customer calls up the power company and says, hey, I'm interested in the off-peak rates, that the person answering the phone understands what that means and can direct them into the right place to get those answers resolved. Where we've seen it, kind of the next step in that support would be where utilities make an active effort to educate their employees on why ETS programs are important, because people in the community see those power company folks all over the place, right? They see them at community events. They are the neighbors, the linemen's out working, and people come up and ask them about different programs. So having that knowledge throughout the company can really make a difference. And again, the more involved the power company is, the better. An invested dealer installer network. Now, some utilities are the dealer installer, and that certainly works out really well. Most places it's not. So to get the program successful, there needs to be dealer training. There needs to be, the people that are installing the units need to understand, the value and importance of the heating system. And they need to want to be putting them in. As a utility, you don't want to get people excited about an ETS system, have them talk to the contractor, and have the contractor, sell them a propane furnace as an example. So it's important that the dealers and installers understand the programs and understand the rates and why it would be important to the homeowners and to them as well. Somewhere in the program, you need to have ETS subject matter experts, and typically those reside at the utility, at a call center or depending on how big the utility is, or even I mentioned the front desk people. Somebody that can answer the basic systems of, hey, I see that you guys have an off-peak rate or you have an ETS program. What is that? Would it make sense for me to be able to answer those basic questions? And so having those people available, so that those basic questions from the homeowners can get answered. And then consumer education and advertising. Of course, the homeowners have to know that there's an ETS program, right? And so we have to somehow disseminate that information out to them. And that's really what the rest of our webinar today is going to concentrate on. But again, if people don't know about it, they're not going to want to buy ETS, and so it's important that we get that information out to them. And with that, I will turn it over to Allie. Or did you want me to talk this one as well? I'm sorry. All right, so certainly we've talked in our webinar series this summer about a lot of different kind of technical things that we have available, and we did a webinar on selecting and sizing of heaters. Certainly, being able to figure out what heater is needed in a particular space. And we have those resources available, from the heat loss calculations, doing that with an Excel spreadsheet, using a sizing crib, our maximum maintainable heat loss schedule for a specific utility, because how much heating a specific heater can do is going to change depending on what the charging times are. And we also have a heater ordering aid, so that if you have you made the sale, you need to know what we need to get ordered, what part numbers are and stuff. We have those kind of cheat sheets available as well. And with that, I'll turn it over to Allie.
There you go. Okay, we're going to dive into some marketing and advertising resources that we have available for you. So everything that we're going to talk about today is already located on our website. Some of you might be familiar with it, some of you not so much. So we're just going to kind of walk through everything that's available as far as marketing resources that are available there. Just a note that Steffes.com will take you to our company homepage. Hold on, I'll share it with you here. Kaylee, I just want to confirm that you can see that really quick. Okay, good. So that'll take you to our company homepage, and we have a couple different divisions, so it just might be a little bit more difficult to get to what you're looking for, especially if you're directing a homeowner to this page from your website or advertising. So what we recommend is that you use Steffes.com/ETS. You can get to it from here too, but that URL will take you directly to this. It's kind of our website within our website, just focused on all ETS information. So it just might be a little bit simpler to find what you're looking for if you take them directly to this site. So first, we're going to talk about product pages. Each of our product lines has their own web page, just kind of talking more information about each one. So you can find those on this top menu. Under products, a drop-down menu will appear, and then there's residential, commercial, controls, whatever you're looking for there. But just for example, we'll go to residential room units. I have it loaded already just for the sake of time, but so on this page, there's just a little bit more information about each of the products, how they can apply to each home, specifications on each model, and tech data sheet downloads. So that's just a good resource for some more product-specific information. And then another resource for some product-specific information is, there you go, the next slide, is our brochures. We redesigned these about a year or two ago now. So if you don't have the updated brochure designs, you can definitely get those. Hold on, get back to the website now. So those are available. Hold on. Sorry about that. Okay, so those, you can find those on our website as well. On this top menu again, under resources, this last one on the far right, the drop-down menu will come up again, and you can click on that first link, brochures and manuals. And that'll take you to this page where each of our products, we have links to PDF downloads for all of our product documentation on each one. So product brochures are there, but also features list, accessory brochures, installer manuals, installation guides are all available there. So good information there. So the next thing that we are going to walk through is the biggest resource that we have available to you is we've created a marketing kit webpage. So the goal of this page was to really create kind of a one-stop shop toolbox that you can go in and download different marketing elements and use them however you like. Stuff that we've been asked for in the past that we just kind of decided to make it just readily available for you to go in and get. So that is located, again, on that top menu under the resources dropdown. That last link, it's labeled the Co-op Marketing Kit. And so it'll take you to this page. And so I'm going to skip these first two links first, and we're just going to walk through the elements that are available here. So again, this is another place where you can download brochures. They're all linked here. They'll download as PDFs, and then you can use them however you like. This next bullet point is labeled graphics. and they're labeled Group 1, Group 2, Group 3, Group 4. Each of those is a folder that you can download. And in there is a bunch of images that we've used in our advertising, our website promotions, things like that. We've already paid the licensing fees up for the stock images, so they're free for you to go in and use as well. And then the next bullet point is images of products. So these are pictures that we've taken ourselves of products in homes, just good high quality images of the products themselves that you can use. And then that last bullet point is logos. And if you click on that, that's another folder that you'll download. And it's just full of different file types and versions of our logo that you can use as well. So now we'll circle back to those first two links. So this first link is the Electric Cooperative Marketing and Media Kit Guide. And it'll take you to this document. It's kind of zoomed out right now, hold on. But it's just a document that we've compiled that does essentially what I just did, kind of walks you through each of those elements, what they are, how you can use them, some examples of what you can make with them, some examples of advertising is in there, and then also some messaging and content that we've kind of put together as a way for you to get started on that, and then just some ideas of other things you can create with them, some banners, t-shirts, hats, all that fun stuff. So that is all available for you on that page. And if there's anything on that page that you need that's not there, that you can't find, just let us know and we can definitely work with you to get you something. But yeah, so just a quick note on messaging when it comes to advertising. Especially these days, people are consuming content constantly. They're being shown ads from all over the place all the time. So to really make your ads stand out and grab attention, you really want to stick to some key messaging and something that's going to make people stop scrolling, stop flipping the page, whatever it is. So we kind of have a template that we follow as far to really get a good message across. So first, you want something that's going to grab that person's attention. So, and generally speaking, homeowners in this case, but and to do that, we usually try to call out the benefit of ETS to the homeowner, something that's going to resonate with them, so like tells them what they're going to get out of it, essentially. So main benefits of ETS that we use quite a bit is, first and foremost, lower cost electric rate, saving money, because who doesn't want to save money? So I kind of put an example there. You can put it in the form of a statement or a question, but something like, homeowners, do you want to save money on your heating bills this winter? Because pretty much everybody in their head's going to answer yes to that question and want to keep reading more information. Other things that we like to call out is cleaner energy, especially if we're advertising to people who are looking to replace oil, wood, coal furnaces in the home. Call it that it's cleaner, less hassle, lower maintenance, things like that. Comfort, safe heat source, reliable heat source. Those are all big benefits that we like to point out. And then next, you want to just follow that up with a short explanation of how. So to that question we asked in the example, like, all right, how can I make that happen? So something like Steffes ETS systems qualify you for off-peak rates, something along those lines that just kind of gives a bit more information. And then you always want to end your ads on a clear call to action. So something that tells them what to do next. If they're, if they answered yes, then they're interested still, what should they do next? For example, call your electric cooperative to find out how you can lower your electric bills, something like that. So yeah, like I said, in that that kit guide, at the end, there is some examples and some things maybe that you can use as suggestions as far as messaging goes. So some examples of ads, we've seen a lot of success with digital advertising in the form of Facebook and Google ads. They're just nice because they're easy to set up, they're immediate, you can start running them today, pretty cost effective, and you can really target them to where and who you want to see that ad. But of course, we've done lots of print, newspaper, your co-op newsletters. It just depends what makes sense for your business or for your members or your customers or people that you're trying to reach, just whatever makes sense for them. And then for Facebook ads, if you go back to that marketing kit that I talked about on that webpage, let me pull it over quick. This second link, there is a guide that we created that is a step-by-step guide to kind of getting started on Facebook advertising and how to set them up. Just an easy way to do that. So if you're interested, that is a way you can get started with those. Yeah, and like I said, if there's anything that you think that you would want to set up for your business, any materials that you'd like from us, just let us know. We can definitely get you something. But So yeah, that is just a super quick overview of the resources that we do have available for you. So is there any questions?
I haven't seen any questions in Q&A, but I will kind of remind everybody that we do have brochures available at the facility here. If you want to shoot us your mail address and kind of like what type of quantities you're looking for, we can definitely get some brochures over to you. So, but with that being said, I don't think we have any Q&A. Allie, you want to go to the next slide?
Yep.
We have one more webinar that we're running this month, and that will be with Julie Thorpe, who is our technical support manager, and she will go through our tech resource library. So yeah, I think that is it. And I think that's a wrap on our stuff. Allie, do you have any other comments or just ready to sign off?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, well, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.